Good morning and welcome to my channel if you're new here. Today I'm doing one of my loop rides. I'm starting here in Berkhamsted, Hertfordshire, UK, which I know fairly well, having spent several years here at school. And we'll be heading off to Whipsnade Zoo, which is in the direction of sort of Leighton Buzzard. We'll then be heading to the nearby high point of Ivinghoe Beacon, before finishing up with the last stop at the Bridgewater Monument on the Ashridge Estate. Start of the loop is turn right here. I'm going to try out a new camera today, which is this Hero 5, which has got the stabilisation in it. I previously used one without stabilisation, and these days it just looks terrible compared to the others, so now all three cameras have got stabilisation on them. So we'll see what happens with this footage. So this is version 2, or take 2 really, because I came out about a week ago to do this, and when I got home about half the footage was missing the audio. So I'm going to do it again today, because the weather conditions are different today, and hopefully it's going to be a bit quieter, because it was absolutely heavy. It was Bank Holiday Monday I tried to do it before, and the 3 stops I'm going to go to were absolutely heaving with sightseers, so it's difficult to find anywhere to park, to be honest. Anyway, this is the high street in Berkhamsted. This big white building here on the right hand side used to be the local cinema. Well, it still is a cinema actually. It's been refurbished since the days back in the 70s when I used to go in there. Right flea pit then. The Rex, I think it was called then. So we're going to take left here at Ravens Lane. And head up towards Berkhamsted Common once we've crossed the railway line and the Grand Union Canal. Straight over this crossroads here. This is the canal here. Very pretty. Nice little pub down there. We used to creep in there for a cheeky half on a Saturday after school. Back in the days, it didn't seem to, certainly the landlord didn't care. Berkhamsted's quite a commuter town really. Good shopping facilities here. Great high street. Runs along the bottom of the valley really, but either side of the valley there's some great countryside. I only live about 4 miles away. Right, when we get to the top here you can take right, close that for a moment, you might be able to hear me better. I've also moved the main camera by Hero 7, and I've dropped it a little bit, so I hope it doesn't interfere too much there with my normal height of screen. But that's why I keep the screens clean whenever I'm filming, so you can see through the damn thing. Here we are, pretty Potten End, little village green and the village pond, archetypal English village really. I'm not going to chatter all over this too much. I'll let you just see the ride really. Point out anything as we go along. It's about a 20-mile loop, 22 I think exactly, and it would take you about 50 minutes constant riding to go around the loop, but it's going to take me a bit longer than that with the stops and a bit of filmage. So we're coming down here to a T-junction. Berkhamsted is to our right and the Leighton Buzzard direction is to our left, and that's where we're going to go, just a short ride. So this is the junction with the B440. I will stop because there's sometimes hair along this road, even though it's a 40. Interesting little bridge here, and to give way to oncoming traffic. Oh, I think we'll give way to him. Blimey, where are they all coming from? What's going on? So what's going on there? I'm also trying out this Hero 6 on this stanchion here, which should firm it up a little, give it a bit of height and give a different view. See how that turns out. Sorry if it's all rubbish and bounces around, but we'll give it a try. When I tried it the other day, it didn't look too bad. We only go about a half a mile along here before turning right. While we're on a quiet bit here, I'll just remind you, I've done one or two tour guide route ideas for the Mad or Nomad website. If you check him out on there, you may remember Andy Davison from used to be a journalist for Motorcycle News, and he's been doing a round the world trip with his girlfriend, fiance now, Alisa. Unfortunately, she had an accident which you may have read about, where she broke her leg, so she's had some problems with that since it occurred, and they've come back to the UK just as lockdown occurred, of course. So I wish her well, and hopefully her hospital appointments are going okay. But anyway, check out I've got about 3 different routes on there. I think I did one for the Greece and Macedonia trip. I've done one for the Pyrenees. I've done one for the Alps. So it's a sort of daily breakdown of what I get up to. Pictures. So we're turning right here, sorry, towards Studham. There's no road number, it's called Pedley Hill. Whole load of gravel up here when I did this the other day, so I'm not going to go blasting up here. Yeah, so check out the guides if you're thinking of a trip or looking for some ideas, and there's a link in there to my downloadable routes, and if you want to use the My Route app for adjusting or tweaking your own routes, then there's a 20% discount code available on my if you go to my Facebook page, Yarro Moto, you'll be able to find it. Otherwise, ping me a message and I'll copy it across to you. But 20% is worth having. But you can have a 30-day trial of the system on your desktop. Handy thing is, it also shows up on your mobile, so if you want to sit and talk over a beer with your mates about routes you're planning to do, then you can pull up the app and the routes, because they automatically sync through to the app when they're constructed on your PC or Mac. So I'm trying to concentrate on this road. Bloody gravel everywhere. The 20% discount is mainly for their gold subscription on a 1 year or a lifetime subscription. So here is the village of Studham. Not that you're going to see a lot of it, because we're going to go turn right down this road here, which is called Byslips Road. Most of the route is pretty open, but this bit here is a bit tree lined and a bit darker shaded. Gravel there, be careful. Right, much more open round here. Right, so we're coming up to our next junction, where we're going to turn left towards Whipsnade. In fact, it's marked here on the B4540. Come on, we're getting a bit of sunshine now. Fabulous. I'm also trying out the Relive app, which you may have seen, purely because it records your routes and gives you that nice little sort of wiggly line that shows the route that you've taken. And I thought I'd try it out, and if it's come out okay, you would have seen it at the beginning of this video. So I might use that in the future rather than doing my lengthy Google Earth flybys, which take an absolute age to sort out, whereas this app will be better, although it does use your quite a lot of battery, because obviously it's keeping the app open all the time. So it's in my pocket at the moment, but it's probably better if you've got it rigged up to your dash and got it plugged into a battery, got it plugged into a socket or something. Oh, snails are out. Can we nip? I think we'll nip. Right, here we go, Whipsnade. There's the signs. I'm just going to pull up here on the left hand side, just in front of the entrance. So here we are at Whipsnade Zoo and Safari Park. It's also linked to the ZSL London Zoo in Regent's Park. ZSL was founded in 1826 by Sir Stamford Raffles. Opened in 1931 it says, and now houses 3,500 animals over this 600-acre site. So it's located within the Dunstable Downs, which are part of the Chiltern Hills. I think I mentioned that earlier. It's the UK's largest zoo and one of Europe's largest wildlife and conservation parks. Right, let's crack on. Next stop, Ivinghoe Beacon. This area is also known for the White Lion carved into the chalk here, which is it's not going to be visible from this side because it's into this hillside just over here, but you'll be able to see it from Ivinghoe, which is over there. Okay, so we just run down to the bottom of this hill. Bottom of the hill, we take a right at the T-junction. B45060. So we nip down here to this roundabout. Right, excuse me. Right takes you into Dunstable. This takes you back on the road that comes out in Aston Clinton. We're only going to go a little way down here before we turn left up onto Ivinghoe Beacon, which hopefully won't be as mad as it was the other day. It's a bit windy around here, but that's the attraction of it, for because Ivinghoe Beacon is quite a peak, and we've also got a gliding club around here as well. But Ivinghoe Beacon, all of the modelers go up there with their model gliders and fly them off there. If you're lucky, you may see one or two up here, but I've got some clippage from last week when I was up here where a guy was flying one, so I might be able to insert that into the video. Straight up here, straight ahead. Yeah, signposted Aylesbury this way, Aston Clinton. On the left here there used to be a field with lots of aerials in it, as if it was a listing station or something. I don't know if they're still here. I didn't notice it the other day. Maybe all the aerials have been taken down and it's been decommissioned. Yeah, looks like it has. There's a BT tower or something up there. Or is it the other side of that fence? There's definitely something crawling around in my helmet. Pardon the expression. The Dunstable Downs we're on here. Part of the Chiltern Hills. Ivinghoe Beacon, been used in quite a few films. Harry Potter, apparently. Not that I'm a fan of that, I haven't seen them. It's one of the Star Wars films. So here we are, come out to the turning to Ivinghoe Beacon, signposted there. Don't go hammering up here because it's usually gravelly and usually a lot of people wandering around, bikes, dogs, cars, cattle grid here. If you're a fan of the recent series Killing Eve, where a van of assassins, including Villanelle, were following one of the MI5, was he, or MI6 officers, and they turned right down a lane, I pointed out to you up here, and they ended up in a field just over there. So there's a little lane here, a little cutting just here that goes down that little lane there. So if you saw it, you probably remember it. So here we are, climbing up the side of Ivinghoe Beacon. It's a well-known landmark, located 764 feet or 233 metres above sea level in the Chiltern Hills. Now we've got to find somewhere to park. Oh, not so bad today. Might even get some background in here. It stands within the Ashridge Estate, which is now owned by the National Trust. The beacon itself is an ancient signal point to send important messages across long distances, and there's been human activity on this site since the Bronze Age. I might be able to park up over here. Not too many people around today. It's not too much wind actually. So this is the view from the top of Ivinghoe Beacon. Well, the beacon is over there actually, which I'm pointing towards now, right over there in the distance, on that ridge line. But this is the nearest car park really. You may also know Ivinghoe Beacon as the end of the Ridgeway National Trail, which starts on the Marlborough Downs, Wiltshire. Right, that's Ivinghoe Beacon. Well, let's press on. Bridgewater Monument next. It's a bit of an adverse camber getting out of here, so be aware. Try not to stop. Loads of parking up here if that one's packed in. Oh, cattle grid. Let's hope the flood has cleared from last time I came down here. It's right across the road and just cacked the bike up. Bouncy, bouncy down here. Well, I think it's all dried out. I'm sure it's before this village of Ringshall. Yeah, it was. Oh, good. Don't have to clean the bike now. The T-junction down here, this is back to the road that leads back towards Berkhamsted, the B4506. Let's Not great visibility here, as you can see from my right. That side's okay, so keep looking right. So the area we're just about to approach here is, I've always said to myself, if I win the lottery, this is where I buy a home, because these are just lovely homes. There's a small selection, detached properties in decent plots facing onto this land here. That's a nice little driveway. I've been to a couple of properties down there in the past, and they're all sort of tucked away down off like little branches off that driveway, and most of them back onto the Ashridge golf course, which is just in here. The entrance to the golf course is just where that BMW is going now. But some lovely homes. Let's see if I can stand up to show you a bit more. One doing something in there to that one, but you get the idea. Very nice. Lovely plots. Come on, lottery. Right, just a little bit further down around the corner here we have the monument. So it's not far from Ivinghoe down to this next stop. Here we go, long driveway up to the monument. Which you can see directly in front of me. This is not too bad, you know. This was absolutely heaving. Parked both sides of this road here. Weekend, I mean, this is a Friday, getting towards lunchtime, so I guess it's a better time. But yeah, Saturdays and Sundays, get here early. There's some great walks from up here, or just come up here for an ice cream and a walk around the monument. Have a nose. Well, it's a bit bumpy up this bit. Come on, make your mind up. Jesus Christ. Let's get that extra 10 feet closer to the monument. Oh, God. Not exactly a shortage of parking spaces, are there? Good. Bugger off there. Just find somewhere on the edge to park around here. Oh, let's park next to the other bike. Why not? Right, here we are at the Bridgewater Monument, Ashridge Estate. This monument is often known as the Ashridge Monument, and I called it that for many years. However, I have now discovered that the history behind the monument relates back to the 1700s. This monument stands within the Ashridge Estate, near Berkhamsted in Hertfordshire, UK, and the nearby family seat of Ashridge House. At that time, a man called Francis Egerton, or Egerton, was the third Duke of Bridgewater. He was a pioneer in the construction of canals during the early part of the Industrial Revolution. In 1761, he opened the Bridgewater Canal in northwest England to transport coal from his mines in the town of Worsley to Manchester, later extending the canal to the town of Lee. The Bridgewater Canal is often said to be the first true canal in Britain and earned him the nickname of the Canal Duke. Unfortunately, he died in 1803 and was buried in the family mausoleum in the nearby village of Little Gaddesden, about 2 miles east of the monument. Later, a memorial to the Duke had been considered by his successor, but it was not until the death of his brother, the 8th Earl of Bridgewater, in 1829 that funds were made available. The 8th Earl had generously left £13,500, which was a lot of money at the time, in his will to build a monument to the Canal Duke, as he became known. There are 172 steps inside and provides a viewing platform at the top. At the base, the large pedestal is inscribed with, "In honour of Francis, 3rd Duke of Bridgewater, father of inland navigation, 1832. Doesn't look too great for the rest of the day. So let me show you Ashridge Estate and the Common. Let's see if we can find any deer to take a picture of. But just wanted to take the opportunity while it's quieter here. We're trying to get out of this junction, and if you don't already subscribe, please consider doing so. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and do put any comments at the bottom of the vid, which I'll get back to you on. Right, let's head down here. Deer spotting now. There's a 50-mile-an-hour speed limit along here because deers can leap out of these woods, and if you had an experience with these things, they haven't got the biggest brain in the world. So if you see one running across the road in front of you, slow down, because there's probably a lot more following. There's quite a lot of parking areas on the sort of grassland up here, but very few structured car parks as such. So these have there you've got sort of off-road parking areas there. So this is where they roam across this sort of parkland here. Always a bit wary about parking on gravel. These are bloody heavy to pick up, and I don't think I could on my own. But you get the idea. Dog walking, etc. up here. Not dogging, dog walking up here. Oh, the little car park there. Very pretty though. If you don't know this area, it's worth a little ride out. I'll take you down into Northchurch, which adjoins Berkhamsted, where we started, if you remember from the map I showed you at the beginning. So when we get down, we'll come down to the T-junction with the sort of high street of Northchurch, and if you turn left there, it would take you directly back and onto the Berkhamsted High Street where we started. Just to give you a bit of context. Go back down here, across the Grand Union Canal. So it hasn't been a fast ride today, but hopefully you found that interesting. Troll me below if you didn't like it. I'm joking, don't troll me below. You'll only get wit back at you. There we go, coming towards the end, just over the Grand Union Canal here. Nip over there. There we go. Can't shade the other way, the wall's too high. Northchurch. So we'll call it a day here. Hope to see you again soon, and I'll catch you on the next ride. Cheers now.